leapers, heading off next week for your scuba diving. I mean, how jealous are we in this office? Anyway, we're thrilled. Thank you so much for holding your nerve. I know, and with all the latest news coming out of Parliament, it's even more nail-biting. But you are going to get there. If there are any trouble with your flights, you can rest assured that trail finders, if anyone's trying to get hold of them this week, their systems are back up. They will be watching those flights, and before you know it, if there was a problem with France, you would be reprogrammed and rerouted to go via Madrid. So just don't even worry about that. We've got that taped. Okay, so the purpose of this little film is to just go through, lots of questions are coming in now, just to answer kind of a few admin questions, make sure everyone's happy, and then just give you a brief update with the itinerary that we've got planned. I've been talking to Georgia lots this week, tying up the details, so here we go. So make yourself a cup of tea, get a pen and paper, and let's go. So, here's my little to-do list. Starting with flights. Air France, you're all sorted, okay? Any trouble, as I said a minute ago, Rachel from Trail Finders will be onto that. I know, Caitlin, you're arriving on Iberia the next day, so I've got to talk to you today about that. That's all sorted, about your private transfer. When you arrive at the airport, you are going to be met by the gorgeous Jade, one of the dive managers. She is going to be waiting literally just beyond the gateway to the car park. Look out for a sign. On the flights, you've got the whole Costa Rica Adventure team, 24 of them, and the scuba team, 19-ish of you. So when you arrive, make sure you get on the right bus. We really don't want the scubas going off with the adventures. You'll be most confused. So concentrate on arrival. Jade, and look out for the sign, Leap Scuba. Okay, so you're going to be whisked down to Quipos that night, and then I'll discuss what happens later. So that's your flights and pickup. Insurance. I know, it's overkill. Battleface, INS, stands for scuba. Overwhelming, but there was just no way round it. Little bits, there's a lot of overlapping, but it's just got you covered for every eventuality. Okay, the INS, that really is overkill, but that is just part of the Costa Rican entry procedures. You have to have it. Now, the day before you fly, you are going to fill in the last piece of the admin jigsaw to get there. And that, I will send you the link, but Trailfinders will too. It's kind of salud.com. That is a Costa Rican health pass. In that, it will ask you if you have insurance. You clearly do, you've got many of them, but the only one they're interested in is the INS Groupon insurance. So it will give you that, choice, you tick that, and you fill in that policy number. No one else's, okay? Not Battlefaces, not Dan's, only the INS Groupon. Don't forget that. If you extend in Costa Rica for a greater length of time, you only really need to extend your Battleface one, okay? Because that covers you for your personal liability, illness, if you've got corona, God forbid, in country, if you've got any accidents, lost your luggage, lost your phone, that's what you need. But the INS one does cover you for all the kind of sports and adventures. If you were going whitewater rafting, if you were doing the zip wiring, that is the one. So take a view with what you're going to do when and which one needs to be extended. Both very easily extended when you're away. In your MyLeap area, what we'd really appreciate is if you could just send us your Battleface policy number and their emergency. It's just that we've got it on file. Should we need to activate an insurance claim while you're away and we can't get hold of your parents, that we have some details to do just that. Injections, first aid. I know I've spoken to lots of you. You're all kind of injected up, which is great. Remember, there's no malaria in Costa Rica, but there are lots of kind of midges and insects. So take, a kind of a spray to keep them away. And the thing that we are most worried about, especially for you scuba diving, are ear infections and any cuts. You're in the sea the whole time, so cut feet, cuts on the legs, they can get infected and go nasty very, very quickly. So take anything in your first aid kit to look after those two things in particular. On arrival, just going back to the airport, on arrival, you will get a 90-day, you will get given on the plane an arrival card, and then you'll get stamped a 90-day tourist visa on entry. It will ask for an address. I will send you that by email, the address that you can put in, which is no problem. Your PCR test, good luck with that. I hope you've all been really good and kept indoors. Well, no choice, we don't have a choice, do we? So that you get a negative. If you don't, you are not to panic. We can change flights, we can do lots of things. So just be calm if that sadly happened. Okie dokie. Right, now I'm just going through the notes that I've made with Georgia over the last week. On arrival, you are all going to be transported down to Kipos, which is going to be your base for the 4 weeks. You are staying in 3 houses, 2 which are in Kipos, which are close to the harbour, 5 minutes walking distance, and 1 which is 20 minutes away, the kind of bigger one, out in the jungle. Now that is the only way we could do this to kind of increase the numbers so more of you had a chance to get out to Costa Rica. There are benefits for both. The one up in the jungle is actually close to Antonio Manuel National Park. So that is a bit more rural, but you're going to be surrounded by the wildlife and it's going to be utterly heaven. The 2 down in the town, you know, yes, it's walking distance to the thing, so you're going to think, oh, I want to be in there. But actually, those that are up the hill, you are going to have a transport that's going to collect you every morning. You can easily walk up and down the hill, so you're not to panic. But the jungle might make up for it, because that is going to be spectacular. One top tip, whoever's in that house, actually for whoever's in any house, is take some earplugs, because the jungle noises are particularly noisy. Now, the homestays are run by real Costa Rican mamas. You know, there's huge competition between the mamas as to who's got the best students living with them, who's got the cleanest house, who cooks the most delicious food. You're going to be involved in this kind of inter-competition between the mamas. They are gorgeous Costa Rican families. Their houses are very, very Costa Rican. If you can imagine that they're kind of the brick with the tin roofs, all very colourful, but very, very basic. You know, you are entering real Costa Rican life. So the food that they're going to give you is, yes, they're going to give you the typical Mama Costa Rican pinto, which is loads of rice and beans, but they are aware that you'd go mad with that after 4 weeks. So they're going to kind of mix it up with toast, fruit, a little bit of cereal. Their English is very basic, but everyone gets around smiling, charming, giving them the odd hug, just thanking them greatly, taking your shoes off before you walk into the house. They've set up these little hand stations. I have got a few videos of them, so if I'm clever, you will see them now.
Bienvenidos a Costa Rica. Yo soy Mireya. Bienvenidos a mi casa.
Hola, soy Sidey. Aquí está mi casa. Pueden ser muy bienvenidos a la misma. Gracias.
Listos.
Bienvenido a mi casa. Mi nombre es Patricia. Solamente.
¿Usted me dice cuál?
Listos.
Hola, mi nombre es María Los Ángeles. Bienvenido a mi casa y bienvenido a Costa Rica.
Listos. Ya. Hola, mi nombre es Teresita. Bienvenidos a Costa Rica y esta es mi casa. Bienvenidos a mi hogar.
If I wasn't clever, you won't see them, but if I was, that's, you know, those are the mamas. So hopefully Zoe, my lovely little handy helper, has cut those videos in for you. Supper, so breakfast is very, very early. I know, get ready for this, divers. Your day starts at the diving school, so you'll be picked up between 7 and 7:30 every morning, straight down to the dive school, first dives, you know, in the morning. Then after the dives, Georgia says that everyone kind of hangs out at the harbour. That's where you're going to have little lunches. There's a great little cafe there that sells delicious smoothies and toasties and things. And there's often a happy hour. So after the dive, have a few drinks, and then you go back to the house, where supper is about 6:37. Now you're going to think, oh my God, that's really early. But actually, you've got to imagine your day really does start early and you go to bed earlier. And diving really is exhausting, especially the first week. You will probably just go back to the house and collapse, have supper and collapse. There is Wi-Fi in the house, basic Wi-Fi. Do not think you can start streaming your Netflix series, but there will be enough to WhatsApp home, maybe do the odd FaceTime. So that'll be fine. In the houses, there are cold showers, but that's fine. You won't want anything more than that because it's so hot. But if you did, there's some fantastic showers down at the dive school at the marina. Single beds, bunk beds, it will be different in each house. Within the 3 houses, we've got 1 girl house of 8, 1 mixed house with 2 girls and I think 4 girls and 4 boys. I'm not sure how it works because they've got separate rooms, and then a boys' house. So the girls' house is definitely up in the jungle, which I promise you will love. Single beds, bunk beds, they provide all the sheets and everything, but it's often good to take a couple of extra towels because you're going to need that down at the dive centre. They do your washing too, but again, you know, if you can give them a little tip at the end for doing the washing, that would be great. Let me just look at my list. Okay, so on arrival, you're going to be picked up by the lovely Jade, taken, and then she's got a list who's in what house. If any of you are out there thinking, I really want to be in a house with X, I think we've got the friendship groups. If you want to remind us, then that would be great. She's going to then drop you off at each of the house, and the little mama's going to be there to kind of welcome you. You're going to try and get some sleep. My advice is you are 6 hours behind, so you're going to feel a little discombobulated. Try not to sleep on the plane. Really gorge on the food and on the movies to stay awake. You're going to be up early, I know, because of the noise of all the jungle, but because of the time difference. So the plan is you'll have breakfast about 6:37 because we know you'll be starving by then. And Kat and Georgia, who run the program, will then come round to each of the houses. So you just wake up and chill in the houses until they arrive. They're going to come round, give you a briefing, and then the plan that day is for you all to rest up in the morning and then get to the marina and all have lunch together at the little cafe that you're going to spend your life at, and then maybe go to the beach in the afternoon just to kind of rest. That is your Friday. On the Saturday, you're going to be up and you're going to start doing your academics for the diving. I know a lot of you have been asking, why haven't you done that before? But we didn't want any money to be spent until you land in that country. So, you know, just with everything, the chaos of traveling at the moment. So you're going to be doing the academics on the Saturday, and then Sunday, you're going to be kind of staggering, doing a little bit of pool work, a little bit of classroom work, but that will all be explained, just to make up for that time lost. Every other weekend is totally free time, and you're so close to Antonio Manuel, get it all confused, National Park. There is so much to do. So Georgia and all the team will just direct you with the really fun things to do. Your instructors that are you're going to be divided into 3 dive teams. You've got Rachel, you've got Giovanni, who's from Colombia, and Kat herself. So they will be the instructors, the main instructors for the paddy courses and for getting you out diving and doing the coral gardening. I think that is it. When it comes to money, you're not going to need much money for kind of basic lunches at the cafe, smoothies and things. Maybe at the week, you know, having a few drinks out every day, every night, but at the weekends, you know, the activities in the national parks, they can add up. But take a debit card, there are ATMs everywhere. If you want to take a couple of $100 US just to kind of set you up, US dollars are accepted everywhere, but bearing in mind they give you the change in the local colons, I think is what it's called, colonies, I don't know. Anyway, it's all very easy. Quipos is a slow, peaceful, rural kind of town right next to the harbour, which is gentrified and quite funky and cool. Beaches either side, with the jungle of the national park behind. Happy days is what we say to you. Any questions, we are here to help, but otherwise I just want to wish you a fantastic trip, and thank you for, you know, trusting us and holding your nerve and getting out there. Toodle bit.